And then I guess I'll use this as a great time to just anybody who is listening right now. This is WGDR Plainfield, WGDH Hardwick. You're presently listening to Agony and Ecstasy. I'm your host, Malachi. And you can not only find WGDR on Facebook, but you can find Malachi on Facebook. And you can find my guest this afternoon. You can find This Divided World on Facebook as well. They have music online, and they will be releasing their album for free soon. But definitely find them on Facebook. You can find all the recent updates for Malachi on Facebook. Definitely find us. And then you can find WGDR as well. We are listening to WGDR Plainfield, WGDH Hardwick, Goddard College Community Radio, 91.1 FM and 91.7 FM. And I guess one of the last things that we have here is to play some of your music.
That would be awesome.
I have been playing some random stuff, just a random playlist. But I have your songs, The Doorway and In Her Heart.
Yeah.
And first, I'm just going to have to ask you, give me some basics about these songs.
Well, like I was saying, it's very strange the way this album came about. I actually wrote 99% of the lyrics for this album. I was the first thing I ever did musically. I was a poet, I guess, and then I became a vocalist. So, it's not my favorite thing to do anymore. I've slowly become a guitarist, but like I said, it started as a solo project, so I was writing the album by myself. I had my buddy David. We went through, and he was originally going to do the vocals for the album, and so we went through and edited lyrics together, and he helped me out and added some stuff, took away some stuff, and stuff like that. But basically, The Doorway, it's really pointing to, I was literally just reading it the other day, where Jesus he's saying, he's basically saying that we're sheep, and God is the shepherd or whatever, and he's saying that he's the gate that lets the sheep in or whatever. And so, gate, doorway, whatever. But basically there's this, say that you come to my house and you knock on my door, and you say, hey, it's Malachi. And, right then I have the option to open that door and let you in. Hey, come on in, we're going to have coffee and we're going to hang out together and we're going to get to know each other and all that stuff. Or I can leave you sitting outside that door, and I can choose not to let you in. And I think really that's what we can do with our lives with God, and which is what I did in my personal life with God for a long time, is I let him sit outside of the door just knocking, like, hey, Micah, I really want to get to know you. Hey, Micah, I feel like these things that you're pursuing in your life, you're looking for fulfillment and you're not going to find it. Hey, Micah, and just kept on knocking. We're not talking about some crazy ex-girlfriend that's obsessed with you. We're talking about the God that created the universe, and he's knocking on our door. To me, that's pretty crazy. And so the doorway is basically our way of presenting the question, to the audience, whether that's Christians or non-Christians. God's knocking. What are you doing with that? And so that's that song. And In Her Heart, basically I wrote it. It's trying to think of the right words to phrase it. I came to a point in a relationship I was in where I felt like the best thing for me to do was to not be in that relationship anymore. For me, it was the best thing to do, but I also felt like for her, because I think we have a pretty messed up view on what love is. And I think the reality of the more I get to know God, the more I actually know what love is. And I think love is making a tough decision for somebody and making a decision that shows that maybe you love them more than they love themselves. So, for example, when a parent, say you got a kid, they have a kid that's addicted to something, and a parent doesn't let them borrow money, that person in that moment is like, how can they do this? This is my parent. They gotta let me. You know what I mean? But in reality, they love that child more because they don't want to see them bring destruction on themselves. And so I was at a point in this relationship where I really felt like me being in a relationship with her was hindering her from what God wanted to do in her life. And, you know, maybe that's me praising myself more than I should, but I still think it was the right thing to do. And so, you know, basically me just saying, you know, what you're looking for in this life, I can't fulfill. It's really only God that can fulfill that. And so, you know, it was a tough thing walking away from a relationship, but, you know, I think I did the right thing in doing that. And so there it is. It's about a girl in your heart.
Well, I guess you discussed the doorway first, so I will go ahead and play that first. And so here on WGDR Plainfield, WGDH Hardwick, Goddard College Community Radio, you're listening to Agony and Ecstasy. I'm your host, Malachi, here today with Micah, who is a member of the band This Divided World. I had the other member, Mark, live on the air as well earlier, but he had to leave. But here is a track off of their album, which will soon be released, and for free online, The Doorway.